In my country, the pilots were once called divine wind, Kamikaze, a word that promised honor, sacrifice, and glory. But behind that word were young men sent to die for an idea of patriotism that left no space for doubt and no mercy for those who returned. Beatrice Garland writes this poem by imagining someone else's life, my father's life, and asking what truly gives us identity. This poem is about memory, belonging, and the unbearable cost of choosing life in a culture that worships death for honor. In Kamikaze, Garland explores three central ideas. First, how memories of home and nature form human identity. Second, the intense societal pressure of extreme patriotism where duty to country outweighs duty to self. And finally, how war destroys individuals not only through death, but through shame, silence, and social exile. The poem is written in free verse, mirroring the pilot's lack of control once his mission begins. The opening stanzas move quickly, long lines, flowing enjambment, like the speed of the aircraft, like a mind rushing toward death. But the ending slows, the rhythm becomes steadier, the caesuras deepen. This shift reflects resignation. Everything has already happened. Nothing can be changed. And importantly, my father never speaks. His story is told about him, never by him. That silence matters. Full of powerful incantations and enough fuel for a one-way journey into history. At the beginning, my father is placed on a pedestal. The metaphor of incantation suggests supernatural power, as if he were a warrior blessed by fate. It evokes the image of the samurai, noble, fearless, destined for honor. But the word also hints at something darker. Incantations are repeated phrases, chanted, drilled into the mind. This can be read as political propaganda, patriotism rehearsed, until there is no space left for doubt. The adjective full suggests his mind is completely occupied by duty and expectation. Then comes fuel. Literally, it can suggest that he has only been given just enough to reach the target. No return. He isn't expected to survive, remember? Metaphorically, this could be the motivation that drives him forward, but like real fuel, may eventually burn out when faced with reality. The phrase one-way journey is a euphemism for death. Death is never named. It is softened, glorified, and history, that could mean immortality or anonymity, one of many forgotten sacrifices. From the very start, his life is valued only for what it can achieve for the nation. The little fishing boats strung out like bunting on a green-blue translucent sea. This is the moment everything changes. The poem slows. The language becomes lyrical. Nature interrupts duty. The simile comparing fishing boats to bunting creates an image of celebration, color, joy, life. These boats represent home, family, belonging, but the verb strung carries tension. It suggests decoration, but also hanging, celebration, and death. The boats recall his childhood, his fishing village, his identity before the uniform. The color imagery, green-blue, is calm, natural, balanced. Unlike the stark certainty of death, this scene is full of nuance. The adjective little suggests vulnerability and protection. Perhaps he recognizes himself in them. This is not just observation, it is remembering. And remember, this is my imagining. My father has no voice. No one ever asked him why he turned back. His identity, like his story, was erased the moment he chose life. And sometimes, she said, he must have wondered which had been the better way to die. The poem ends not with survival, but with death. This line reframes everything. My father didn't choose between life and death. He chose between two ways of dying. The Kamikaze mission would have been quick, glorious, honored. But returning home meant a slow death, a life without family, without community, without love. The modal verb must chose uncertainty. I don't know what he thought. I was never told, and yet I imagine. The phrase, better way to die, suggests that his life after survival was not truly living. This is metaphorical death, a spirit destroyed by shame and rejection. The poem ends on die, full stop, final, unanswered. We grieve a man who lived, and that is Garland's final truth. War doesn't only kill bodies, it kills identities, relationships, and futures. For a grade 9 response, remember, Kamikaze explores identity through memory and nature. It criticizes extreme patriotism and societal pressure, and it exposes the individual cost of war beyond the battlefield. To deepen your understanding, watch the full poem analysis videos for the rest of the Power and Conflict Anthology right here on GCSE LitVerse, where characters teach you literature.